What's up out there, everybody? David Cravens with the Relentless Hope podcast. When I go to get a new pair of sunglasses, there's only one sunglasses I choose, and that's Neven Eyewear. We're a proud affiliate and sponsored by them, and that's all you'll see us wearing. They're ready for land, air, or sea. If you break them or lose them, they replace them. Go there today, neveneyewear.com. More choices than you can shake a stick at. So don't forget, Neven Eyewear. A lot of times people get church and God confused, right? You got to go to church and you got to be in there. But sometimes God's got to be first, not church. It's got to be God, then your relationship, then your kids, and then it goes on down, you know.
Well, we watched a sermon one day before you get off the stage.
Yeah.
If we start doing this, we watched a sermon one day where the guy, where the minister, Jensen Franklin. Jensen Franklin said, let me tell you something. You know, you hear the story about she's your one, he's your one. This could be the one. He goes, let me tell you something. That's your two.
Yep.
And me and Stacy go,
yep.
Because I would never say she's my two until after this.
You walk into the one.
Absolutely.
Two walking to the one.
So that made a big difference. Yeah. That was a big deal that day that happened.
And how we say it is how we say it. You know, I say a marriage works 100% of the time if you do it God's way.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And I've been married a couple times. I wasn't the best relationship fella in the world. But marriage works 100% of the time when you do it God's way. Because she is my number one most important human relationship.
Yes.
And she comes first, not with the kids, not to her. Then it goes down. Now you're getting sober. How long? Tell me how you met Marcus and how all that went in and
tell.
Because like our story's like urban cowboy, like, you know, homie, hey bud, that's sissy, I love you, let's get married, right? You know, that's us real short.
I love that.
A little crazy.
I love Urban Cowboy.
My favorite show.
Favorite movie ever.
We love it. Oh, these are
he hits you, sissy. I'm gonna kill that son of a bitch.
Ride again.
Ride it. I don't want to ride it, bud.
I don't want to ride it, but ride it.
Yeah, they're upstairs like, whoa, there's Yahoo.
Yeah.
They shouldn't let us in.
Number 87, West Hightower.
He's real outlaw.
Good job.
Hey,
memory.
She's like, you real cowboy, ain't you?
Yeah,
you real cowboy, ain't you?
Well, you flirting. I wasn't flirting. You a real cowboy, ain't you? I love it.
You know what a gopher is, boy?
Yeah. I love it when he started his job.
Yeah.
No, he goes,
go
for things.
You go for things. I can be a cute little animal.
Yeah, he goes, because that's where it's at.
We can do this all day long.
The memory.
Me too, bro.
I wish I had that.
I
do too. I do not have it.
So we can be here all day. This might become a series. This would be good. So tell us how you met Marcus. Bring us up to date.
Let's see. So first of all, one really big thing that I say is that I asked Dallas to let me be a part of the show.
This is big.
Change or Die. And because I really wanted to pour into the women on the show because I work in addiction and I thought that I could be helpful.
You could do it, right?
And he's like, "Nope, Stace, I need you to be helping with the grandbaby, which is Oakley.
Okay,
Brittany's baby.
Okay.
And I'm like, really? I mean, of course I help with her, but I really wanted to do the show.
Yeah,
my feelings were really hurt. And
which means she was mad.
Right.
Undercover.
Hurt is usually
right.
Anger is usually over.
Right.
Yes, I was hurt. I was angry, and but it worked out great because I guess maybe that was a year later. I'm not sure how long ago.
About a year. June it ended. So yeah, about a year because that was December when we saw each other. December was when we saw each other outside the PC. So
it might not have worked if that didn't happen.
Late February. Late February.
God knew what he was doing, but more than us, don't he?
Yeah.
So you were there.
So in December, we saw each other at the PC, and my ex-husband and his brother were best friends.
Okay.
So, I mean, his brother was my kid's Uncle John.
I got it.
They loved him. I mean, I loved his family.
Right.
And which is kind of cool because I knew his mom, I knew her cooking. Yeah. And, you know, that's really
you know his history.
Yeah.
That's nothing wrong with us.
Yes.
You knew his
Me
history.
and her ex was in jail together. That's how we met. So,
right.
You know.
Her brothers, her husband's brothers, like babysitted me and raised me and stuff.
Right.
It was the Stalvey boys, and her husband was Scott Stalvey. So Scott and my brother John were best friends.
Wow.
Best friends. Like I knew a lot about his family.
Right.
So I was working out at the PC and probably 3 days a week.
Right.
And I went outside and I saw the guy that we had been working out with, a guy that he had gotten shot in the head. And I was like, how in the world are you in real clothes? And it was Mark. It wasn't this guy.
But crutches.
But you were just after the accident,
right out of rehab.
Okay,
so 2 months out of rehab.
Okay.
So I was at the PC and got out of the car with my crutches, and Stacy Brown walks out.
We talked for a couple of hours. And
2 hours, first time meeting.
That's good.
2 hours.
2 hours standing up in a parking lot and I'm on crutches.
Wow.
Gangster.
Just out there talking about
So what did you
family
think?
Just talking about life.
What did you think when you saw her, Buff?
Oh, when I saw her, we started talking, and it was just, it was powerful right away because I couldn't figure out who she was.
Yeah.
She knew too much to not be close. So I was kind of faking it till I made it because I'm trying to figure out who
You're
this
trying
chick
to figure
is.
it out.
Right.
And I'm like, but little I know that she just knew so much about it because of Scott and John.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, if she just said, "Hey, I'm Scott Stalvey's ex-wife," I would have been said, but I didn't have that one tick.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I walked directly inside 2.5 hours later, and I walk in the door, and Steve, I go, "I need her name and number."
Blood tight.
I said, "I'm in love with her."
Right.
I mean, I was.
You meant it. You felt it right then.
I felt, looking back, 100%, it was love at first sight.
Right.
Yeah.
But here's what happened. Here's what happened that made all of this work, I believe, with all my heart.
I do too.
Is I asked her what she was doing because I was talking to my first wife. I was talking to her again. And I wanted to fix what I had done.
We know about that. Trying to make right your wrongs.
I wanted to right my wrongs with one of my ex-wives.
Yeah.
And
to prove that I can be that good, Marcus.
Absolutely. I wanted to pay it back.
The man I started off.
Or that
Absolutely.
you weren't that man anymore.
Right. I wasn't that man anymore. Because I knew that whatever woman got the next me,
He's going to get the best Marcus
is going
there
to get
is.
the best Marcus they ever
Buddy,
had.
we're one and the same. That's
And
what
brother,
I
I'm telling you, I knew that in my heart. And I told everybody, and I told the two ex-wives, and they didn't listen because they didn't want no part of it. And I got it. I didn't push it, but I asked each one of them, let's try to work it out. No. While this was kind of ending is when I meet Stacy, and I go, "Do you want to go to Dallas's party? What's your plans?" And she goes, "I'm getting surgery." And she was getting a surgery on her nose and some other things done. And she goes in.
Thanks, honey.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting me out there.
They did a great job.
Looks good.
You look fabulous.
That'd be like me saying, "Here's the steroids. You take them and look like me."
Right.
Yeah.
right.
Good luck.
They're so crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting ready to say something, and you're not going to believe me.
Right.
We talked over the phone without seeing each other once for 3 months.
Yeah. Which is
Wrap that around
not
your
the
head, brother.
MO for Buff Bagwell.
You couldn't. No, listen. Nobody could do what we did.
No.
She just wasn't going to let me see her with the face.
Yeah.
And at the end, I said, "Look, what's up?
Right.
What's going on?"
Yeah, what are we doing here?
She go to the mall.
Right.
She go to the mall. She go to the. She went and saw Dallas.
Went to church.
I said, what's going on?
Right,
I said,
right.
"Just tell me." I said, "I'll leave you alone. Just
Right,
tell me what's
right.
up." But the truth is, in that 3 months, we were almost saying, "I love you, I love you,
Yeah.
goodbye."
You were using that
over
to
the
get to
phone.
know each other,
And
really, though.
exactly. So
Right.
we got to know each other without touching, kissing, hugging,
Yeah.
Anything.
nothing.
The real deal.
That's how you really get to know somebody.
That was
Exactly.
God
But
working.
again,
Yes.
There's
God,
no
God
doubt.
again,
Yeah.
God again.
Well, God again, the second time.
Because
Something
nobody
different
don't
than
go
he's
to
ever done.
dinner, lunch,
Right,
coffee. Let's meet up, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Because when we did meet,
Right.
I don't think we've been with each other since.
Right.
Because
That's
it was,
awesome.
it's incredible. She's,
I can see a light in your face, and I can see a light when you look at him.
know.
See, that's that
beautiful.
that thing. I can see it when she looks at you, and then I can see a thing about you, which is like people still say about me right now. There's no way he's not cheating on her.
Oh my. Wow.
There's no
That's
way.
okay. That's
There's
what
no way
people
that their
say.
marriage.
That's
Is,
right. You
there's
know.
no way that their
That's
marriage is that
That's
good.
right.
Right.
And but I know when she looks at me, or
People
when I
do
look
change.
at her, I don't
Yes.
want
Yes,
to.
they do.
People
No.
can change, man.
Absolutely,
With Jesus and
yes.
habits, people can change.
Absolutely.
And so now you guys been talking.
Yep.
3 months now. It's said
Haven't
okay.
seen each other.
You get to see each other.
We see each other.
No
and-
Rocky Raccoon eyes.
No, yeah.
No,
And it just,
looked
it was a lot at first because she's in recovery.
Right.
Her last husband is a raging crackhead. The kids know it.
Right.
She's got
So
3
you've been through
daughters.
some stuff, right?
3 daughters. She's been through a lot. She tried to save her husband. She tried to. He's still
we know the
alive.
story.
I tried to
He
save
goes.
my marriage.
Try to save her. Right there
For
you
your
go.
kids.
There you go.
And you loved
I'm
them,
not
yeah.
an addict. I didn't know anything about drugs. I knew nothing about
So you
what
go
was
for a
going
minute
on.
with this, yeah.
Right.
So
you were an
so
enabler, though.
yeah, exactly. Codependent
Codependent.
enabler. And at the
Codependent enabler.
time, I was working with Dallas. I
Right.
was rehabbing Jake and Scott
Okay.
at the crib.
So she was there during the documentary.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and love
That's
those
so
guys.
powerful.
I love them both.
Oh,
but,
God, awesome.
But I'm trying to help them, not knowing that my husband was at home
Smoking crack.
doing drugs.
Wow.
Right.
So
And
what's stress for you?
it was
It's kind
crazy.
of living like a fake life. Like
it was,
I mean,
well, and I didn't know it though. I
no,
didn't
but
know
not
I was
yeah,
living
yeah.
fake.
Oh yeah. So you didn't know.
I was
yeah.
clueless, and
Oh, man.
and I had Dallas, who is he's controlling. I had my husband. No offense, love you, Dallas, but
Love you so
I
much,
had
Dallas.
He's
my
a boss.
ex-husband who is like controlling, and you're over there at that house with all those men.
those men.
And I'm
Right.
like, are you kidding? I mean, I
Right.
love all those men.
Yeah, but
no.
yeah.
And then I found out that he was
Doing
using
that.
drugs. So I dug into how to save our marriage and like what could I do? I would have done anything to save my marriage.
Which was honorable.
And
Right.
it was terrible. I mean, I was begging people, what do I do? How do I,
Wow.
what should I do? I can't do, and I didn't know
You
I
can't
couldn't
do
do
anything.
anything.
And
I
it
went
takes
to
two possibles
rehabs.
to fix a marriage.
Right. We
Yeah.
went everywhere. I mean, he went into a rehab, and the men's extension is what actually changed my life because they started calling me, Stacy, you want to come in for some tea? And let's talk about what's going on with you, because
Right.
they could see that I was in that
Something was going on.
codependent pit,
Yeah.
and they just pulled me out. It was
awesome.
unbelievable. I love those people.
Yeah, the
They're
extension.
great.
The extension was better for Stacy than it was for Brett.
Yeah,
I mean,
it-
Right.
he never
yeah.
got still not sober to this day, and I hate that for any
Right.
man. I
Yeah.
hate that, but I mean, and I hate to say this, but it's the truth. I love everything Brett did
Right.
because I got that.
Well, it is what it
So,
is.
exactly.
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
is.
and no, we we're not trying to. We hope he gets sober.
Absolutely.
And, your
Rooting
thing.
for- rooting
but
for
here's
him.
the thing about marriage. And I went back to save my marriage after John and I were friends, and me and my ex was split up, and I had full
But I
custody of my kids.
respected that.
But
I
I
respected
said
that he
I
wanted
had
to
to
do
go
the
back.
best thing for
Do
his
the right
kids.
thing.
I had to go
Absolutely.
back, and she said, I'm not going to wait around. You know what I mean? And we were friends, but knew that we wanted to be together. And I said, I can't look Nevaeh and Jackson in the eyes when they're older, because they were babies. And I had full custody of them, babies, and say, if Jackson says, Dad, did you try everything with my mom? I'm going to
No,
say,
I didn't.
yes,
Yep.
I had to go back, and I said, yes, I did, son.
Right.
Yeah, so because
Chills.
that's why I went back.
Yeah.
And
You could say
then,
that.
and
You're
then
showing
it
your
didn't work
kids,
out because
right?
anything can be repaired with God, but it takes two possibles.
Yeah.
Not
Yes.
one possible can't do it,
right.
but it's
Yes.
two people.
Yes.
And so I believe, the thing about this podcast is, if you're watching it and you're in a relationship, you've been married 2-3 times, don't matter. Just make it your last relationship.
Yeah.
And do it God's way. You know what I mean?
Right,
We can't
right.
go back.
Yes.
You can't go back and
No.
change
Can't fix
Buff
it.
of 2010,
Nope.
6, 12, 15,
Nope.
whenever. I can't go back and change David, John, and Stacy.
right.
All we can do is go
Move
from
forward.
today
That's right.
and be the best Bub. It doesn't
That's
matter. But Marcus.
I know, I keep
Stacey-
saying Buff too.
Yeah.
It is.
That's it. I don't care. See, like somebody could come up to me, like, and this is just me, bro, and this is street stuff or ever how I was raised,
Right.
and say, well, but Marcus.
Yeah.
I never make an assumption until I'm around somebody.
Right.
Yeah, because you know what? That was the Marcus they knew.
That's right.
Right.
This is the
Absolutely.
Marcus we know.
Yeah,
right?
we talk about this a lot,
Yeah.
which is, and people are humans.
Yeah.
Humans are bad about this.
Yeah.
But I'm excellent at it, which is I will say, well, I'm not saying I saw this. I'm saying so-and-so told me.
I
The
saw
problem
it.
is they leave that part out.
Yeah.
It goes from somebody telling somebody something to, did you hear about Mark Bagwell?
Yeah.
And
It's like
how
that
do you know?
telephone game.
Yeah, oh,
Remember
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
It's like watching a car
terrible.
accident and asking 3 people. Like he was coming left.
Right.
No.
He was coming right.
hit the brakes.
Three
He's going to
different
get 3 different
perceptions.
accounts.
There's 3 sides to every story.
Yep.
Yes.
There's your side,
That's right.
their side, and the truth.
Yep, and it's facts. So, going in with you guys right now, I believe, and this is just me, this is just the beginning of what's going to go on.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know that, but I'm just saying, sitting on the backside of it, there's going to be so many women that you can reach,
Yeah.
Right.
saying, "Hey, I didn't know, and I'm not around this." And there's going to be so many people, men and women, that you can reach.
So try to wrap your head around this, and that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've already done it.
Yeah,
But let me tell you what I'm doing.
Right.
I'm wrapping my head around that being Buff Bagwell wasn't my call.
No, that's
think about that.
What did I tell you this morning? I get ready.
So crazy,
I go, you know what I want to tell
what we were saying.
Marcus? You know what I want to tell him?
That Buff is not nothing.
And dude, I've watched your your matches.
Buff was a persona.
I love it.
Love it.
I love people. But the last part is the legacy Marcus is going to leave.
That's the people. That's right.
And the heart.
It's going to
come on.
Listen, there's something, and this comes. I deal with a lot of Christian people. A lot of people, Christian, and I love Jesus, and I love people. They don't agree with kind of how we do with this stuff,
right?
Because we're transparent. We'll tell you if we're having a bad week. I'll tell you I've failed or whatever.
Brother, if you got a booger in your nose, I'm telling you.
That's right.
Believe it or not, there's some people that don't want to know that.
They don't want to tell you.
They don't want to tell.
They'll look and go,
they don't
you guys,
visit that.
They might not watch our podcast.
Right. Nothing awkward.
They might not watch it because we're a little too real. I call it. You know what I mean?
That's what it is.
But the thing is, when God puts something together, what God joins, let no man separate. And that was what I told her. I said, you know what I want to tell Marcus and Stacy?
So true.
Is that the last part that Marcus leaves is going to be, hey, when you check out or God comes back and takes us whatever way we go, they're going to go,
happens.
Yeah, he did this. Yeah, that happened. But boy, did you see what he did in the end? Because it ain't how you start the race, it's how you finish it.
Absolutely.
And without her, see, she's grounded, faith. You've got your relationship. All you guys can do is just grow. Grow and change the world.
Yes.
There's nothing like when you've got a woman behind you.
Oh, it's powerful, bro.
That believes in you.
Yes.
Doesn't care. Well, somebody could tell her something. She'll go, yeah, but that's not David I know. Do you know I took her to my hometown one time, and people are like, you know who that dude is? I seen him one time, tie people up and hold them high. Yeah, I'm like, hey, man.
Yeah.
And she goes, I don't know that David. I know the loving David that cries and gives somebody his shoes at 7-Eleven.
That's right.
Because God changed my heart. Not me. God changed my heart. You know what I mean?
I had the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
This woman
kids,
right
You're
here.
going to hear it. The better you do.
People would call my kids and tell them, that he's done this and that. And
Oh, geez.
And I said, look.
And they
that
have,
was
and I
his
have,
past.
and the Marcus Bagwell has won.
Yeah.
These kids love me now, and what makes me feel good about it is not. I don't feel good because they love me. I feel good because she is comfortable now. She sees babies going past her to come to me.
I don't know how comfortable I am with that.
Yeah, it don't make me go like, it makes me go.
Oh.
That's a great feeling because of knowing this baby wanted to hug me. Yesterday, True was reaching for me, and he reached past her, and I was like, and it just, oh man,
And the thing is,
makes your heart happy.
Absolutely.
I have 10 grandchildren and 3 daughters.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, my son-in-laws are amazing.
They are
awesome.
I've got a good, sweet family, but
It
they were
does.
very concerned because my
Rightfully
last
so.
She just came off of a horrible relationship.
Yes, I mean, I
Rightfully
was single
so.
for 7 years,
Yeah.
but
They were
like,
protective.
don't
They're
date a man in
protective.
recovery, Mom.
Oh.
Please,
Yeah.
don't. You promised that you wouldn't. What are you doing?
Oh,
And
yeah.
Same. She had
guards
went
are
to
up.
Teen Challenge, graduated Teen Challenge, was a mentor, went through the police academy.
Wow.
And they're like, whoa, wait a minute. This dude,
Do you know what you're doing?
And she had
Did you look
older,
at his
her
rap
kids were
sheet?
older. Yeah. Hey, I got some cool mugshots in there with I bleached my own hair. I did all kinds of stuff. But anyway.
I love it.
and I had 2 babies. They're like, your kids are getting a little older.
Right.
Like, I got them from 33 to 12 and everywhere in between,
Right.
And so they're like, he's a nice guy. He's funny, and he ain't too slim. He ain't the best looking fella. You know what I mean? But God had a plan, and she's like, and when we got together, a lot of those people, and this is just to encourage you guys, and not everybody's a hater. You got congratulators,
Sure.
But there's a lot more haters than congratulators
There is.
in my life,
Yes.
anyway.
Yes, Mine
too.
But that's all right. We love the haters too, because you guys watch it more than anybody.
Absolutely, yeah.
But-
You fill our tank.
yeah, you're right. But what happens is some of the people that were against us when we got together, and dude, listen, man, our relationship, we had felony stops. I had more rifles in my face, kicking windshields out, fist fighting, going to jail, ankle monitors. Like we went through all that too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I knew, a lot of those people that were talking against us aren't even married anymore.
Right.
Oh, of
Okay, we
course.
outlasted their marriage
Right.
and some. Now that's not because we're good. That's because if we can do it,
God is
anybody
good.
can do it.
That's right.
And
God is good.
marriage works 100% of the time if you do it God's way. So
God's
what we
way.
did, and the whole reason why we're even here this weekend, is if there's a marriage conference, we go.
I love that.
If there's a marriage conference,
I
we
love
go.
that.
I
Why?
love it, too.
Because in some of the stuff I've heard and could write the book,
Good.
because we get there and we learn it and we watch it and
Man,
we
you
learn
can
it.
never stop learning.
Reminders.
No.
And
Reminders.
so
Never stop.
you guys, and I said it here, you guys are going to change the world.
Yeah.
I hope
Right?
so.
And it's going to be your story, but it's going to be the new Marcus. And pretty soon it's going to be 3 years, 4 years, and they'll still be talking 5 years.
Yes.
And
It's a
Still,
whole,
he's
it's a
coming.
whole new brand.
He's gonna
is what
fail.
he
But
is.
listen,
He's
He
gonna
is.
fall.
there's dudes like me, okay, that's been in recovery for a while, been set free, whatever you want to call it, recovery, set free, clean, whatever. Speaking of clean, check out these clean
Oh my
calls.
gosh, hey.
How you like that,
Let's
Buff?
talk about
I'm
these
in.
guys.
Yeah,
all the way.
50%
You like it,
of
Stacey?
the
Yeah, I do like
profits
it,
go to drug
definitely.
recovery.
Oh.
I swear by these. I
Yeah,
drink them
look at
before
the
the
back.
gym.
I love
160
that.
grams of
Look at the
Yeah,
caffeine.
and it's all clean, jitter-free,
Yes.
organic yerba mate.
50%.
Clean calls, link below. Go get some. Also, Neven Eyewear.
beautiful.
Awesome.
If you break them, Land, Air, and Sea,
We got a pair for
Florida-based
you
company.
guys.
I got some for you.
In your goodie
Buff,
bag.
what I was telling
Oh,
you,
thank
because you always wear
you.
them, I brought these for you specially, and I'm going to tell you why. Because like me,
He
we deal with
loves
haters.
glasses.
We
Yes,
deal with haters.
of
Why-
course.
I knew he loved sunglasses.
Sneakers
We
and
deal with
glasses.
haters. Me too. That's why I love the guy.
And
okay.
hats.
Yes.
And
Oh, and
so
hats.
these, I always wear these, and they go, "What are these?" I go, "These are hater blockers." So when somebody's
Hater
hating on me, and you
blockers.
can take them off, or you
Yeah.
can clip them on.
That's cool.
And
Isn't
these
that
are
cool?
made in Florida. These are
Hater
one of our.
blockers.
These are. Now I don't know if this is the actual name of them. That's what I
That's
call
what
them.
we call
I
them.
like it.
But
I
these are
love
one
it.
of our, we're ambassadors and sponsors. They sponsor our podcast, Neven Eyewear,
That
Land,
is-
Air, and Sea.
Oh, I
If
saw
you
that.
break
yeah.
them,
I wanna see
they
these.
replace
Yeah,
them.
any of them you want, you can have. Bro.
Yeah, you want
Those are
those?
yours, and she's got you
I
some
got
lady
you.
ones.
Oh,
I got
nice.
you a cute pair.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, look at those.
Look at both.
Those look
you're
good on him.
sassy. I love
it.
Do you want those? You get those.
Yeah.
Whatever.
love it,
you
man.
choose whichever.
Yeah.
Those are great.
You gotta
But,
fix that.
Yeah, I'll
so
fix
cool.
that.
Yeah,
But
please.
back to what I was saying was, you guys are going to change the world, man.
Yeah.
And don't focus on here. Say, give yourself grace, give yourself mercy,
Give yourself room to grow.
but stay
Yeah.
stay the course.
Yes.
Stay the course, and I promise you, man. Not like not pulling Big Brother on you, but
No,
but
I love
telling
it.
you. I watch you talk. I see the passion. You got, and this is what I started to say before I went into my commercial. And Flyfit tees too, by
Looking
the way.
good, looking good.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
is that if you? What was I gonna say? They're going, hey, I'm on a clean call.
Buddy,
Give
I'm
me a
not
break.
in that
Yeah.
brain.
But
What's coming
there's
for
guys
us,
like
brother?
you. There's guys like me. We might edit that part out. What I was saying is, there's guys like me. All the people that say, "Hey, Buff did this again." As soon as I met you and got in the whole DDPY community, got a whole thing, I started rooting for you.
Right.
And here's why. People talk, people whisper, people say things. People, not anybody directly to me,
Right,
but,
sure.
I pay attention to,
course.
YouTube. I pay attention to
Comments.
people I'm talking to, whatever it is.
Right.
Not anybody ever didn't say, "Oh, Buff's this or this."
Right.
So I'm not saying that, but I'm the guy who roots for the guy that nobody believes in.
That's right.
You know why?
Amen.
Because my whole life I've been the guy
been
nobody
that guy.
believes
The
in.
underdog.
And if
Yeah.
you would have told me 6 years ago, going to be 7 years ago, that I would be sober,
You would bet against yourself.
I had never been sober. Even locked up, I hadn't
Me
been
too.
sober. I'd get it in there. You know what I mean? So I had never been sober for more than 6 months ever
Never.
in my
I've
life.
never been sober
in
a month.
treatment, yeah. And because I'd do good, and then Dave would get in the way because I was clean, but I
Yeah.
still had all
Right.
this mental
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
Self-sabotage.
So
Absolutely.
as soon as I met you, and in passing, and then I started rooting for you.
I love that.
And when I say that, there's some dudes say, "Oh, I'm rooting for you." It's but no, I mean seriously,
Really
she'll tell you,
rooting.
I really was rooting for you,
Right.
And I still am. And then when I say, "Oh yeah, he's got a year," okay, because then you start getting some steam.
Yeah,
But then you got to
that
watch out
year.
for the false pride, because I remember
course.
once I got in, I started telling everybody I've been so. But
Yeah.
then
Start
I'm like,
telling
oh,
other people
yeah.
what to do
Then
and how to
I'm
do
like,
it.
okay, wait a minute. And even now,
Yeah.
I'll get in and be like, dudes, like, well, I've been sober 20 years. I'm like, oh crap, I better shut up. Even in marriage, I got to go. Okay, I'm
Sure.
gonna go back.
Right.
So
You can always learn.
But
That's
so
right.
Always.
when those days that you're maybe feeling down, we all have them. I do. I have imposter syndrome. Nobody's got it worse than me. When I come here to shoot the first podcast, when we walked in here today, I started having a panic attack. Like, who wants to talk to me? Right?
Really? So what do you do at that junction? Pray?
You
What do you
can't.
do?
This is what you can't do.
Pray.
And this comes with anything. This comes with porn addiction, food addiction, whatever. You can't take a thought out of your mind. Only thing you can do is replace it with a
Replace
better
it.
thought.
Right.
Absolutely.
So as soon as that happens,
Jump it.
I looked over. I said, "Boy, them arms are looking good."
There you
no?
go. Yeah, yeah.
Right. So
Right.
so I took a negative and put it in positive and go, yeah, but we went to
you
damn
go.
Planet Fitness at 6 this morning and put an hour and 30 in.
That's right. That's right.
Old Dave wouldn't have did that. I'd have been
No.
like, hey Buff, we're stuck in traffic, bro. We can't do
We
it.
can't make
I'd have
it.
came with something. So So and Mark turned around and went and relapsed.
Absolutely.
So whenever you're having the days, we thought, know that this kid, and I speak for her, we're rooting for you.
That means a lot.
And when I say this, if every day you want to vent, talk, laugh, cuss, I don't care. Relationship talk, whatever, we're there 100%.
Love it.
You know what
it.
I mean? And I mean it when I say it. And I just believe that, and why I wanted you guys on here, I believe a year from now, 6 months from now, we're going to talk again and meet and then be up to date. Like, hey, I'm going here because there's
the
an
best
avenue.
is yet to come.
It's
That's right.
you're just
The
getting
best
started.
is yet to come.
You're just getting
Let me
started.
tell you, about less than 2 years ago, is that okay?
Yeah.
So
I don't know what it is, but yes.
Yes.
We done told you,
I
we
love
don't
that.
edit and we're
I
real.
just want to make
Yes.
sure.
And if we
I
hurt your
love-
feelings,
Don't know.
we love you.
Yeah.
You respect
I,
his
I do.
feelings.
I do. So
called
I,
boundaries. That's great.
I told him that what I need, the main thing that I need, is a godly man.
Yeah.
Right.
And I need that leader. And he's like, I don't know what that looks like, but what do you do? How do you do that? And
Yeah.
and
What do
was
I do?
I can't really. I'm not that one to show you how to do. I just know what I need.
Right.
And so then I started praying for Mark to find a godly man, just one godly man
it.
to mentor him. That's
what you need.
probably
He sent
about
4.
a year and a half later.
Hey.
He sent
4.
4. And then
Wow.
That's
He didn't
four
send
two of
one.
those
4
guys-
different
It took a
perspectives.
long time.
But now I was
Wow.
so my prayers took a long time,
Right.
and then he didn't answer them like I wanted it. I
Right.
said,
He never
Mark,
does.
to seek one man. He sends 4.
4.
But 2 of these men had gone to school with Mark, and they had their journals where they had been praying for him
Wow.
Since
when they were
1988.
teenagers.
Yeah, 88.
These men were
Graduating.
teenage
I graduated
men
with them.
that had that much love for him, and I mean,
Wow.
he was
And they-
he was just
and
a,
they-
he was just a guy they went to school with, but
That's
they
awesome.
were
And they didn't
praying
sit. They
for
didn't
this
sit at my
man.
lunchroom table, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Different,
They were
different-
friends.
yeah.
We're football team, but
Different-
they
weren't
weren't at my
as
table.
close,
Different crowd.
but-
Different crowd.
But they prayed for him diligently all these years, and one of them is now a pastor.
Yep.
And is going to be baptizing
Wow.
Mark.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
Rhodes.
dude.
And, so
That's-
just
That makes me so
man.
happy.
The other man I happened to meet at the crib,
Mm-hmm.
and he, we were just talking about he has legend wear, which Mark wears a ton of his hats, and
That's
he's
awesome.
amazing.
Shout out Legend Wear.
Yes,
We'll put a link in that too.
absolutely, Larry
Yeah.
Legend, absolutely. And he so he told another friend of his, a wrestler guy that they were friends, and he said, I've met Mark's girlfriend,
AJ Styles.
She loves the
Oh,
Lord.
AJ Styles.
He's good friends with AJ.
Okay.
So AJ and him went up in church and went up and
They went to the altar and prayed for Mark.
Oh,
I mean,
my
he just said, and it was really sweet. This guy said, I could discern that you were such a good woman, and Mark's got good things going on.
That's
and
awesome.
So they started praying for him, and we, we've met with Larry and his wife. We're all supposed to do like a Bible study together.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool. That's
it's-
what you need.
Yes.
There's always somebody behind you that's trying to go. There's always
Isn't that
somebody
great?
in
That's
front of you
Oh, yeah.
that we're trying to be like.
Sure.
Right? And in everything.
Yeah, so
and when it's
everything.
spiritual and everything. And fitness and whatever it
Yeah.
is.
And
and
he's
that's
my workout
That's
partner.
awesome.
Yes.
There you
Same
go.
thing.
Yes.
Same thing, you know.
I love that.
And you guys, you doing that shows, you said this again, the other thing I was watching, I'm learning words like humility, grace,
Yes.
Integrity.
empathy,
Yes.
integrity.
Yes.
Character
Humility.
Yeah, humility. Integrity is what nobody's watching. When you push the
Humility.
shopping car back,
My
that's
favorite.
integrity,
Yes.
right?
Picking that can up that nobody's walked over 20 times.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's her right there, boy. She'll walk
yeah.
30 miles, pick up a McDonald's wrapper. But and one I've had to learn in my life is empathy.
Ooh.
And empathy has changed our marriage because
That's
there's
a
a
good
day
one.
I want to be
Empathy.
like, and I'm like, put yourself in their position. This girl works moving pool tables with me all day. She'll lift them too,
Right.
Moving, and then comes home and is still cleaning and taking care of it. Like,
Yes.
and you're gonna gripe because she's
Yeah.
in there mopping the floor for you. You're waiting in the work
Right,
truck,
right.
But just a thing. So empathy is something that getting in these marriage conferences, being around men who've been married and can give you some. So
Right.
that shows humility. Because
Yes, it does.
we're dudes. Nobody want to tell me how I need to be with my
Yeah,
wife or
yeah,
my girl, bro.
yes.
I'm Dave Cravens,
Humility.
dude. Humility is going, hey, bro, I'm gonna mess this up, man.
Yes.
You know what do I need to
and
do?
not just
Hey,
humility, but
help.
something you both have is sensitivity. Because
Sensitivity.
you both have it, you
Sure.
should know how to harness it.
Yeah.
Gotta
Yes.
balance
Yeah.
it.
And,
Yes.
and that's another thing. I was watching one of your things too, and I could just see in your and you just talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's called the countenance of Christ, bro.
Oh, yeah.
So what happens is
soft and Jude.
that don't got nothing. Saved not soft.
You can't
saved
teach
not
that.
soft, right?
That's right.
Jesus ain't
that.
soft. You don't get beaten, go through what he is.
Right.
It's your countenance is Jesus starts to come out. The more you get around it, the more he does.
Yes.
So when you're talking, still confident, Marcus, you're telling the story good, but I can see the compassion in your countenance.
Yes.
And that's one thing I noticed the first thing when you got both of you guys got what we call the Jesus countenance.
Jesus.
What'd you call it?
The Jesus countenance.
Oh,
like
I
your
like
face.
that.
Like
I like that.
You're like,
Yes.
when there's like
It's like a glow.
Jesus in there, yeah. It is.
Yeah, there's something you're like, hey, not
Special.
perfect, but there's something.
Yeah.
They're tapping in.
Yes.
And they're not tapping into just their self.
No.
And all of it goes together, physically, mentally, spiritually.
Absolutely.
And all three of those, you're a body, a soul, and a spirit.
Absolutely.
And that's what I see on your guys' face.
I love it.
And I just really to encourage you guys. But this conversation encouraged us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what this is all about.
When we roll into Smyrna, bro, to get off, I don't even know what we are on time. Ooh, we doing it good. But he's probably like, get out of here, boy. No, but is every time we come to Smyrna, we were driving into town and we had some business. We're never off. We own businesses, you know what I mean? And coming, I'm like, well, we're not letting the devil steal our joy. Because, when you leave your kids, there's stress. You got 17,
you got jobs
business, jobs calling. Where are you guys at?
Dogs fighting.
Dogs fighting the neighbor's dog. Put your fence, boy. Put it back up.
Put your fence back up.
But,
the hurricane's over.
When we rolled into, I said, I'm not letting the devil. We're going to have a good podcast tomorrow. We're going to get up. We're going to hit Planet Fitness at 6. Do a DDP.
Love it.
I did my DDPY and did my working out, Dallas.
Yes.
I got it in.
All
With the power
It does make a difference on my body.
Absolutely, it does.
And I said, I'm not going to, we got Buff, we got Scott Free, we got, the marriage conference. And as soon as we rolled in, I go, every time I get here, and now she's hearing me talk, but not, and she goes, I feel such a peace when we're here. But what I was getting ready to say was, every time I get to Smyrna, I feel a peace.
I love that.
And I was like, and there's nothing like when we're here. I was like, is God telling us to move? Because every time we come to visit, we start looking for property.
I love
it's
it.
crazy.
Love it here.
So
I love it here.
we're going to wind out here. Listen, man, you guys, I love you, brother. I'm so proud of you. I love you. We're proud of you. You guys taking your time to come down here and talk.
Yes.
I knew it went the way. It went even better than I knew. I knew once we started talking, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, you know what I mean?
Well, there's a very similar path that we both took in life. Yeah. We're awful close in age and we're awful close in all the things we've done in life. And, there's one piece that's relevant in this whole thing, and that's Jesus Christ.
Come on,
that's right, brother.
So anytime you put Jesus on something, and you put him up first, whatever follows it is going to be somewhat successful. It's just up to you how much I call it roll your sleeves up.
Yeah.
It's up. I can guarantee somebody if they go to rehab. If they do 90 days at aftercare, you work 90 meetings in 90 days, you get a sponsor, and you work the steps. You do those 5 things, I can guarantee you happiness.
Right.
But you got to roll your sleeves up on how much happiness.
That's right.
It's up to you.
And you
know what?
Continue doing it. It's a
Absolutely.
daily. It's a daily choice.
I rolled my sleeves up.
That's right. And happiness.
Is your boy on us?
He's on. We're like, we lost track of time. He's like, boy, I got a flight to take. But
Okay,
that's
so wait,
right.
I want to make one point.
All right.
So happiness is circumstantial.
I'll give you some more money.
But joy comes from the Lord, and that's what makes us different.
Absolutely.
No matter
Amen.
what you're going through,
That's
He'll
right.
give you joy.
You
through
got
that
to pray
strength
like
to
it's
turn
up to
around.
God and work like it's up to you.
I like that.
Right?
I like that.
I do
Relentless Hope
too.
out. Listen, look in the link below. It's going to be how to get a hold of Marcus, all his socials, his clothes. Also, I'm telling you, he's going to have the dopest Buff Bagwell edition of Sobriety is My Superpower. We're going to have it linked where you can go to, him and check it out. He hasn't even seen it yet, but I think it's dope because I made it old school West, and he's going to love it.
Dope.
And we love you
Absolutely.
guys. Marcus and Stacy, thank you guys so much.
you.
DDPY
Thank
community, we love you. If we
Yes,
hurt
we
y'all's
do.
feelings, we still love you.
Yeah.
But
Can't help but love them.
can't help
Yeah.
it.
Can't help but love
Changed my
DDPY.
life. DDPY changed my
so
life.
many
Hey,
lives.
did y'all work out to my videos?
I don't know if we have.
She was in them. You just don't know it.
Look at me.
She's an old timer brother with DDPY.
Yeah,
She was in the
That's
first
awesome.
videos
Yeah.
ever.
Oh, now I'm going to
We're
go look
out.
for you.
We
She's
love
this girl.
y'all.